CBS Sports presents college football. Live from Legion Field in Birmingham, Alabama, it's the Penn State Nittany Lions versus the Crimson Tide of Alabama. Today's CF.
A fabulous day, 68 degrees, sunny the forecast, and the wind will be blowing from the left to the right on your television screen. In other words, Alabama will have it at their back. They will kick it off. Philip Doyle, Leroy Thompson, and Gary Brown are deep for Penn State. With that wind, he kicks it almost completely out of the end zone. It'll come out on the 20-yard line. And we'll see the freshman right away for Penn State, number 19, Tony Sacca. His running backs today, John Green is the workhorse. Thompson and several others will play at tailback today. Wide receivers, Daniels, Timpson has Olympic class speed, and David Jacob is the tight end. The center, Roger Duffy. Wisniewski returns to the offensive line. And the tackles. The usual size in that offensive line. Sacca with a 1st and 10. Thompson starts at tailback. He's out of the south, and he is crushed on 1st down. Steve Webb, starting today for Alabama, made that hit. Willie Wyatt in the middle of the defense. Flanked on him, Tommy Cole and Steve Webb, who came up with that hit. The linebackers, Gilbert, and remember number 86, McCants, emerging down here. Derek Thomas, 55, is the superstar. Spencer Haywood, 44. 2nd and 9 for Penn State. Off a play fake, Sacca rolls to the right. Throws on to move, complete for a 1st down. He hits David Jacob, the tight end.
And Brenny picked up a real nice block by his fullback, John Green. They gave Sacca a chance. Sacca is 6'5", but he's got pretty good foot speed. The little fake inside the left of your screen, you saw the block. He knocked down Derek Thomas. That was John Green. And there's Jacob, 86, right in the middle of the screen, finding the soft spot in the zone and makes a nice catch. Dropped a couple of balls a week ago, but that was a nice catch by Jacob.
Now Todd Young checks in, and Penn State will operate from a double tight end formation. 4-man defensive front for Alabama. And they'll run Thompson, and he is brought down after a gain of about a yard. Coming in from behind, Willie Wyatt, the nose man. That secondary, the corners, and you can expect Penn State to go after them. John Mangum and Kermit Kendrick. Kendrick had to be moved to the corner because of the injury to Gene Jokes. The safeties, Lee Osmond and Mike Smith, Penn State hopes to challenge them with some big running backs up the middle. That's how Mississippi defeated Bill Curry with a couple of big plays. Otherwise, the Alabama defense stifled him that afternoon. Now 2nd down and long for Sacca, and he hands off to Green, the fullback. He gets to the 40-yard line. It will leave Penn State with about a 3rd and 5.
3 yards. Penn State is a team that has really relied much on Gary Brown to come up all the big plays this year. Joe Paterno and his staff said today they need some big plays out of the other players. Sacca, the quarterback, of course. Timpson, Michael Timpson, the man with the great speed on the outside. But some of the other players have to step to the forefront today.
O.J. McDuff at wide receiver, number 45. Sacca on 3rd down, has time over the middle, incomplete. Penn State will punt it away. After 1 1st down, the Alabama defense holds, and Doug Helkowski on for his 1st punt. Helkowski in punt formation. 10 men defensively for Alabama, but they'll drop some off if it's a return from Murray Hill, who's back deep. Now they start to back him off. Return is on. Hill, the tailback, looking into the sun, lets it take a big bounce, gets a Penn State roll, and it's inside the 15-yard line. It will not be good field position for the Crimson Tide. And David Smith, their left-handed quarterback, with his final words of instruction. Robert Stewart, the big fullback, and Murray Hill, who replaced Humphrey in the backfield. The wide receivers, Greg Payne and Marco Battle. The tight end is Howard Cross. Alabama insisting they must throw the ball today. Schultz will anchor the offensive line. Rose and Robinette are the guards. The tackles are Chapman and Frumorgan. Standard four-man defensive front for Penn State. And Smith on first down. Dropped. The ball should have been handled by Cross, the tight end. The defense today, Dave Zott in the middle. Schoenwolf and Giannetti are the tackles. Linebackers Gobb and Collins. Remember number 31. McDonald and Karpinski are on the outside. Thomas and Range, the corners, and the safeties, Eddie Johnson and Brian Chismar. William Kent comes into the backfield as a running back for Alabama. He's number 30. They run him on the draw. Collins was over first, and then helping out was Range, number 36.
Alabama, as you mentioned earlier, Brent, needs to throw the football today to win. Homer Smith, their new offensive coordinator, says in particular they need to have that controlled passing game. We saw that in the first play when they tried to hit Howard Cross, the tight end. He dropped the ball, but you're going to see short controlled passes primarily out of Alabama today.
Richardson, one of the wide men. He's over to the short side. Now Smith pulling back. Under pressure. Drops off the screen, incomplete for Stewart, the fullback.
Well, that screen was set up beautifully, but it was Andre Collins, number 31, the inside backer, that was draped all over David Smith, who's playing on a very tender knee, that stopped the play.
Moore punting for Alabama, standing inside his 5-yard line. And the speed man for Penn State, Michael Timpson, waits to return. Fine punt. Goes out of bounds. And they'll spot that ball at the 43-44 line. We'll come right back. We're just underway in Birmingham. Penn State and Alabama are scoreless.
Jim Nantz in New York after a Willie Edwards interception brought it back to the 3. West Virginia's Major Harris takes it in for the score. He's now thrown for 2, run for another. West Virginia tuning up for Penn State next week. Back to Birmingham.
All right, Jim, exactly. We'll see these Nittany Lions in Morgantown. All of us on the CBS crew look forward to that trip. West Virginia, a long shot to win a national championship this year. And they will host an arch rival, Penn State, and Joe Paterno has dominated West Virginia down through the years. Now, 1st and 10 for the Nittany Lions. The ball is on their own 44-yard line. Saka has Thompson and Green in his backfield. He'll throw on 1st down, rolling to the left. Incomplete, wanted Timpson, and Timpson was covered by Kendrick. Incomplete. Steve Wisniewski told us about the poise possessed by the freshman quarterback.
Well, I really think he isn't like a freshman. I know I wasn't that cool and collected coming in and playing as a freshman, but I think the poise he has and the confidence he has in himself is what sets him apart, and I think he's going to be an excellent quarterback down the road.
Everyone says he has all-American potential, and they add down the road. It is so tough for a freshman. Green bursts through a huge hole, challenging that defense inside the 35-yard line. The fullback brought down by Lee Osment.
Brent, John Green is really a tailback playing fullback. He's only 187 yards, but he's a great trap runner. And he's a great trap runner because he gets such a quick block. Watch the inside linebacker, McCants, number 86. He's going to get blocked on the trap. But watch a quick start that Green gets. Hugs the inside block on the trap and then just follows that block for the big game.
Virtually the same play employed with such success by Ole Miss in Tuscaloosa. They'll run Green again. He slides to a hole on the right side before Webb brings him down from behind, but he's inside the 30-yard line. Good first down run, 2nd and 5, downstairs to John Dockery.
You know, Brent, we're seeing something that Penn State has done very little of this year. That's 3 wide receivers, and I think there's a couple of reasons. Pat mentioned the problems that David Jacob was having at tight end. Well, I think they also want to try to neutralize Derek Thomas and also to work on those corners, as you mentioned. So that's why we're seeing some of 3 wide receiver for Penn State today. Now back to you.
This time, John, they'll go back with Jacob and Young as a double tight. Timpson, the lone wide man on 2nd and 5. They'll power with Thompson. Ball comes loose in the middle.
Joe Paterno said last night there is no reason for our running backs to fumble.
And Alabama has it.
Leroy Thompson got the start today because he is from Knoxville. And Joe Paterno thought that he'd give him a chance to start today. But last night he told me our backs should not fumble. We don't do anything fancy. The guys should be able to secure the ball. But it was a good hit inside. I believe it was Willie Wyatt, the nose tackle, that popped the ball loose.
And McCants was also in on him, Pat. So they doubled him up as he came through the middle. David Smith in Alabama with a 1st and 10 on their own 28-yard line. 10 minutes left in the first quarter. Now they drop off into the wing formation. And Smith, who has been throwing on 1st down, fires it complete to Greg Payne. That's 15 yards on that pass.
And that is nice execution by David Smith because Payne was really double covered. There is a flag down on the play.
Kenneth Wiggins of Jasper, Alabama, please call the press box. Kenneth Wiggins of Jasper, please call the press box.
We have a violation against the receiver. He went out of bounds and came back in. It's a down penalty with no yardage. So it will be 2nd down. It's 2nd down.
A wide receiver, if he is pushed out, is allowed to come back. If he goes out on his own, top of the screen is Greg Payne, number 6. If he gets pushed out, he can come back in. Looks like he ran out by himself, and the official is there. Once he does that, he cannot come back into the field to play.
All kinds of speed on the field for Alabama now. Pierre Good. He is flanked to the right. And Smith to throw again. Underneath, and it is complete to Murray Hill, the tailback coming out of the backfield. It'll leave them with 3rd and long.
The key to any passing attack is pass protection. And watch what David Smith gets here. Now, he is setting up on a short drop, a little 5-step drop, so the linemen have to be a little tougher, a little more stout up front. Again, the controlled passing game, Hill didn't really pick up much there, only about 3 yards.
3rd and 7 for Alabama. Smith under pressure, pulls away and throws it complete. Marco Battle. 37 yards.
You know, Brett, it may be my imagination, but left-handers seem to have more touch than right-handers. And I think that was another example of it. David Smith rolls out to his left, almost gets tackled by Quintus McDonald, number 92, and then just has that nice little soft touch, a little soft pass to a wide-open Marco Battle, who was right in front of the zone defense. Again, a lot of pressure from the outside of Quintus McDonald. Alabama thinks they can get to the edge of the defense.
On 1st down, they run the tailback, and he is slammed down by Eddie Johnson, number 39, who moves up and makes a nice hit at the 27-yard line.
A gain of 5 yards on the play. Johnson made the tackle.
Now 3 players substitute off that Alabama bench on this 2nd and 5 situation. Wayne Shaw, one of them, in at fullback. He's alongside Murray Hill. Incomplete. He missed Battle at the 19-yard line. So it'll be
But David Smith walked on here a couple years ago and has been a very efficient quarterback for the Tide over the past 2 years.
Smith to throw it again on the run, and it's complete for the first down to the 12-yard line. Greg Penn, the receiver, and Alabama with an impressive drive featuring the pass. This one for 16 yards into that bubble area in the secondary.
And what Alabama is trying to do is hit these little seams. There's little seams right in here in the defense, and as David Smith rolls out to his left, both the wide receivers at the top are just going to find those little areas. Greg Penn found that little dead spot, and then he made a nice little catch.
Shaw lined up in front of Hill in the eye. They'll toss to Hill. Tries to sweep to the right, and a great defensive play by Johnson. Showing us why Joe Paterno once called him the best cornerback we've ever had at Penn State.
And they've moved him to free safety this year, Eddie Johnson, and these are the kind of plays a free safety has to make. In college football, you need a dominating player at free safety who can be physical and make tackles like Eddie Johnson did right there.
Penn State fans will never forget the Fiesta Bowl championship game against Miami. What a night he had against Vinny Testaverde. Now on second down, the backs are split. Lobs for the end zone, incomplete. Wanted Penn, and it was overthrown and out of bounds. He was covered by Range in the end zone.
Range on the covering.
Going to see a lot of passing today, I think, Brent, because both these teams are very good against the run. Both coaches, head coaches, and offensive coordinators said each of them had to throw the ball to win, and that's why they play good run defense.
3rd and 13 for the Tide. Off a play fake, Smith under pressure. Tip ball and incomplete. Again, he was going for Penn, but there was enormous pressure that time on the Alabama quarterback.
The two outside receivers, they run a little, actually kind of a pick play. Penn comes to the inside, Battle goes out, and then Penn is supposed to drift out, but very good coverage there by Willie Thomas, number 25. Again, good pressure by the Penn State defense. They have not been doing much of that this year, but thus far today, they put some pretty good pressure on David Smith.
They bring Matt Baggett, nickel back, who was a high school linebacker, number 18. And this field goal by Doyle, a 32-yarder. No good. Doyle misses the 32-yard field goal. So Penn State and Alabama are still scoreless in Birmingham. Glorious afternoon in Alabama. Two schools rich in college football tradition. John Dockery and Pat Hayden, I'm Brent Musburger. Nice to have you along with us. Heard from so many folks during the week how much they enjoyed the Miami Notre Dame game of last Saturday, and hope we can bring you that kind of excitement here this afternoon. 6:48 now in the first. No score. Alabama has missed a field goal, and the Nittany Lions bring it up at the 20. Here is Thompson. Breaks a tackle and comes for a first down. So the man who fumbles gets the ball on the next call, and he responds with a 13-yard run before Mike Smith can bring him down. And there's an injured Alabama player, Gilbert, on the sideline, on the near sideline at about the 23-yard line.
He is a man, Greg Gilbert, that has played very well for the Tide this year. Inside linebacker, who's one of those guys who can both play with finesse. He's got great speed, and he's a physical player inside as well.
Injuries have affected both of these clubs. Sam Gash will not be available for Penn State. The fullback injured himself during practice this week. Let's see what happens to 56 as he comes into the play. He hits Thompson. Kind of rolled off. Was he tripped, Pat?
He looked like he just ran right by him, and on the fall he may have hurt himself. Didn't appear to be from contact. But amazing, he played on a team 2 years ago with Cornelius Bennett and was still the leading tackler for the Tide even when Bennett was on the team.
Bill Curry rushed across the field to see his fallen player. And he does not appear to be in good shape, does he? They're going to miss him in the middle of this defense.
Well, you lose Gene Jelks, which they did earlier in the year, the defensive back, and you lose Greg Gilbert. You've got some problems defensively.
Shepard, number 96, steps in. Willie Shepard is out of Pritchard, Alabama. He's 6 foot 217. He's a senior. Judging by what we have seen here so far, Pat, Joe Paterno's staff is convinced they can run the ball on Alabama. They've used a lot of double tight, and they've come right out after him.
And when they have thrown the ball, it seems they've had Saka on the corner of the defense. They expected a lot of blitz, and they were so concerned about number 55, Derek Thomas, on the rush, they decided to roll the quarterback Saka out. And when he's been successful throwing, it has been on rollouts. You know, Brent, I think the toughest thing for a freshman quarterback to do is to be a leader, is to be looked upon as the leader of a team.
1st and 10 for Penn State. The ball on their own 32-yard line. This is Green, and he slithers through the middle for about 5 yards. Bantrice Davis, number 47, bringing him down for Bama.
Willie Shepard made the tackle.
And so they challenged Shepard right away, and he was in on that stop.
John Green, again playing fullback at an undersized position, is actually graduated from Penn State, is in the NBA program there, but has really fought through a lot of adversity at Penn State to be the starting fullback.
So far, Derek Thomas has been rather quiet. They double team him that time. Saka rolls in his direction. Incomplete and out of bounds. It was interesting to watch the blocking pattern on number 55. He will operate as a down lineman as well as a stand-up outside linebacker, and he was contained by the double team man this time.
And here he is, as you said, Brent, in the down stance this time. He is really very effective on the open side, but he gets bumped by the tackle, then hit also by Wisniewski and then John Green. So 3 different guys bumped Derek Thomas that time, and that's why he really wasn't too involved in the play.
He's the kind of impact defensive player who can disrupt an entire team's offense. They must keep him at bay here this afternoon. 3rd and 7 for Saka and Penn State. Timpson slotted to the right. Saka with protection. Diving try by Thompson, incomplete.
Boy, 2 offensive linemen that time on Derek Thomas. He thought he was held. But again, he comes off the corner. Every great pass rusher has a burst. He has that, but you see the 2 offensive linemen, right, Monahan, number 60, and number 71, Freeman there. That's what they think of Derek Thomas.
Helkowski to punt again for Penn State. Standing right at his 25-yard line. Murray Hill fields it at the Bama 25. A little seam, and he's through. He's to the 40, the 45, down at midfield. Slick return, wasn't it? 26-yard return off a 38-yard punt, and we'll be right back.
Middle linebacker Greg Gilbert was injured moments ago. Well, they just took him into the locker room. It's not a knee as they first thought, but actually a pulled groin muscle. They're going to wrap it up and try to have him return, Brent. Now back to you.
All right, John, thank you. And Alabama will have a 1st down at the Penn State 49-yard line. Shaw and Hill are the running backs for the Tide. Russell, the tight end. And Smith again, that pattern of throwing on 1st down, and this one complete to his tight end, Russell. Well, they call David Smith the computer at Alabama.
A lot of times that's the toughest part. You know, a lot of people have a hard time grasping the offensive scheme, but I think I understand what we're trying to do on offense, and if I can help us win that way, then I think that's just as important as going out and making big plays.
Injured his knee on September 13th, severed a ligament, underwent arthroscopic surgery, and here he is, back at quarterback, the 2nd week back, and they run Hill for the 1st down behind the left side, that offensive line.
When you think about David Smith, and he walked on here at Alabama, everybody said he couldn't play as a walk-on, but I think Bill Curry has a special place in his heart for quarterbacks like David Smith. Remember, he played with Bart Starr and Johnny Unitas, 2 other guys that were told they weren't good enough to play as well. But David Smith has had a very nice career here at Alabama.
Penn State substituted liberally with its front seven, and Alabama indicating that they could move on some of the reserves now. Again on first down, Alabama throwing the ball, and they drop it off to Hill, and he doesn't get anything. Just a couple of yards out of that play. That was Stewart.
This guy is a fullback like you can't believe, all 253 pounds of him. Bill Curry is a very tough guy, and he likes to use Stewart right there, all 253 pounds of him, as a receiver and as a short yardage runner.
Wayne Shaw in on this 2nd and 8. And they run Hill, the tailback, and he battled his way maybe for a yard as the Penn State defense stiffens up with Schoenwolf, who did not start after the punt, but he's back on the field and he makes a big play here.
Number 75, and he's one of those guys who does everything well for this Penn State defense. He just jumps around the block and gets enough on Murray Hill on his ankle. He's not a terribly dominating guy, but does everything well for the Nittany Lion defense.
3rd and 7. Smith has time, complete to Wembley, number 32. So a variety of receivers being used here by Alabama. And it's going to be very close to a first down.
This is very characteristic of a Homer Smith type of offense. He is the new offensive coordinator at Alabama, and he does like to spread it around. Homer Smith was at UCLA for many years. Came in here, Bill Curry brought him in so that he could put some life into the passing attack, and he has done that.
So it will be a 1st and 10 for the Tide against Penn State at the Nittany Lion 27-yard line. Wyoming, one of the major unbeaten and untied. Hill and Shaw are the running backs, split behind Smith. Another first down pass, that time deflected, and it was caught and intercepted by Penn State. So the pass was deflected into Chismar's arms, and a terrific diving interception.
And if this ball was tipped, I believe, by Schoenwolf, number 75, right there, jumps up twice and makes the nice tip. And this is fitting for Brian Chismar to make the interception. A year ago, he was fooled by Bobby Humphrey on the halfback pass, Brent, for 57 yards, but he has played very well this year. Have him playing closer to the line of scrimmage this season.
He was a fabulous high school running back. Sean Redmond now checks in for Penn State. He is the fullback in front of Thompson, leads the way. Thompson battling for a couple of yards. Pat, why did Joe decide to start Thompson today rather than any of the other tailbacks?
Well, Leroy Thompson comes from this part of the world. He is from Knoxville, Tennessee. Joe Paterno thought he was the best high school running back ever to come out of the state of Tennessee. He had that kind of reputation, very highly recruited. Joe went down to Knoxville a couple of times himself to recruit Leroy, and he's had a nice career. Although he's just a sophomore, he's a good north-south runner, strong runner with great flat, straight-ahead speed.
2nd down and 8. Saka slips away and drops the ball and recovers it himself. Gets down on the ball quickly.
Nice pressure from Thomas Raymond, number 95, who quickly gets in from the backside. It's a little boot action after the fake to Thompson. You're supposed to fake the defensive end, and he did a nice job of that, but I think Rayam, number 95, may have gotten his hand on the ball, and Saka did a nice thing. He just jumped on the ball rather than trying to pick it up.
3rd and 7. Saka 1 of 5 today, has missed his last 4 passes. With 3 wideouts, over the middle, incomplete. And Penn State will punt again.
The Tide defense has played very good first down defense, forcing Penn State into a lot of 3rd and longs.
a hole and could not find it. There is a penalty flag down. There's a penalty flag down at the 34-yard line. 38-yard punt. John Soppy, the referee today.
We have clipping on the run back.
Brendan called the clip, I think, on Derek Thomas, number 55. But again, the point about Derek Thomas, he is not a prima donna. Right there, he comes in the back. It's a good call. But he plays special teams. He gets down and dirty on the inside of the defense, besides just being able to rush the passer. You know, these days, it seems like all defensive guys want to do is get sacks. But Thomas can do it all.
David Smith and Alabama will come out now from their own 18-yard line. Murray Hill still the tailback. And Smith again throwing on first down. Hits Russell, his tight end, for a first down. That's a 13-yard gain to Russell. Boy, what a pattern of throwing on first down they've established.
And right at the inside against in the tight ends to Russell and Cross. What surprises me, Brent, is that the inside linebackers in Penn State are usually pretty good against that kind of route. Very good at reading the quarterback's eyes and driving to stop the inside routes to the tight end.
Stewart leading Hill. And that time, the Penn State linebackers were ready. Andre Powell stepping up into that hole. Number 95 making the stop.
Andre Powell, number 95, has got a ton of ability. Only a sophomore, and they think he's really going to be a special player. Fights through a lot of traffic and gets very square to the ball carrier so that when he hits him, he's not going to get any extra yardage.
David Castile into the Alabama backfield. Smith could not get that one off. Hit from the blind side, Andre Collins. The linebacker with a ton of speed came from behind, and he never felt the pressure that time. So that'll do it for the first quarter here. Penn State and Alabama are scoreless. We'll return after this message and a word from your local station. At Birmingham, we're scoreless, but an upset that has rocked the Southeastern Conference. The hard luck team, Kentucky, finally comes through. They hold off Georgia 16-10. Georgia's first loss in the SEC drops them to 4-1. They are a half game ahead of Alabama, Florida, and LSU. And beware the Auburn Tigers. Today they will play Mississippi State, and they can move to 3-1 in the conference. Now it is 3rd down and 17, and they run Murray Hill. He breaks a tackle, still free, and explodes to the 36. 11 yards, short of a first down by about 5 yards, and the punter comes onto the field for Alabama.
The key anytime you're going to run the draw play is to be able to control the nose. Roger Soltz, the center, controls Zott, number 79, and that gives Murray Hill a little crease. Only 5'7", but very physical player, tough to bring down.
For the punter. And the speedster for Penn State awaits it on his own 30. They pour in on him. There's no penalty marker down on that. Fair catch at the 36-yard line by Tempson. Well, tomorrow the NFL will show Redmond and Gary Brown now in the backfield for Penn State. Gary Brown, who started last week against Syracuse. And on first down, Redmond not going anywhere. Willie Shepard. Rest of that defense coming up.
This Alabama defense is very difficult to rush on. 78 there as Derek rushed him. Tough to run against because they can put 4 or 5 people in gaps, and they don't play head up. They don't read. They get right in those gaps, and they get great penetration.
2nd down and 13 for Saka and Penn State. Fake to Brown. Saka steps up. Penalty marker is thrown. Going deep for Timpson. He's got it. But there is a penalty flag down. Timpson's in the end zone. It was thrown back in the direction where it might be a holding call. It's going to come back. It'll be holding against Penn State. A 68-yard pass from Saka to Timpson is called back. But I'll tell you, did you see the arm on that freshman? Did you see him lay that ball out there? Oh, boy.
And Paterno wanted some of the other players to come up with the big plays. Watch the offensive line here. That's Sean Love, number 57, who's blocking Willie Wyatt. He's pushing out him there. And then again, pretty good protection and a nice throw to Timpson. They wanted some big plays from other players, and they got it right there from Timpson. The man with great speed, always had a dream of running in the Olympics. Didn't qualify this year.
He chased Carl Lewis in his 200-meter heat and failed to qualify. That pass was 55 yards in the air by Saka. No wonder he was so highly rated coming out of New Jersey. On second down, Saka incomplete, and that ball probably should have been handled by Gary Brown. Not a perfect throw, but he had a crack at it, didn't he?
Ordinarily, too, Gary Brown is a very good receiver. He's had 11 catches on the year, primarily on screen passes, I think, which Penn State runs as well as anybody in America. It looks like he's hurt. Definitely wanted to come out of the game. Saka off to a slow start, but he throws the ball downfield. He is not throwing a lot of high percentage passes.
Thompson has replaced him. He's in the backfield with Redmond. Third and a ton, and they will run out of it. And he comes out to the 36-yard line. That was John Green who had checked in, a fullback. He gets 14 yards of it back, leaving Penn State far short of a first down. So they will punt it away.
Well, again, the tie defense does its job, and primarily they've been very, very good against the rushing teams, and on first down in particular this game.
Elkowski standing at the Penn State 25. Hill at the Alabama 22 to return it. He gets it off under pressure. Fair catch called for by Hill at the 30-yard line. 33-yard punt, 12.5 minutes first half. It's still scoreless between Penn State and Alabama. All right, Jim, thank you. We're still scoreless here at Legion Field in Birmingham, Alabama. Time remaining in the second quarter. And the left-handed quarterback, David Smith, brings the Tide to the line. Kent in at fullback. Wing formation. You know what they do on first down? They've done it all day long. They hit Kent, and he's out across the 35-yard line. It'll be about a 2nd and 3 for Alabama. So the man they had to replace this year, Bobby Humphrey, who still has a decision to make. There have been some reports down here, fueled by Bobby, that he might return for the last 2 games of the season. Coach Curry telling us yesterday that that is highly unlikely. Blair Thomas, of course, he is the missing link for Penn State, so both of these football teams without their star running backs this year. Second down. Kent again. He is close to a first down, maybe about a yard short. Let's see where they spot it.
William Kent is a guy that Homer Smith, the offensive coordinator, believes is going to be a very talented player here at Alabama. He said he was born to be a great tailback. He's got that ability to be a complete back. He can run, he can catch, he's not afraid to block, really knows how to run nice routes. They like William Kent a lot.
He is in that backfield with Stewart. Off a fake. Smith throws, and it is a first down. Pass is caught by Greg Payne, number 6.
That's a very very slow developing play to gain 3 yards and the first down. Payne gets up very slowly. But usually when you throw a little out pass for a first down, it's off a 3-step drop. But here it takes a long time to get developed, but still Payne makes a diving catch, comes back, and makes the first down.
And Curry thought that roughing should have been called right there. He thought it was a late hit on the play, and Payne forced to the sideline. So 1st and 10 again for Alabama. They've dominated the clock, but it's still scoreless. He drops it off to Kent. And another good first down gain to midfield.
What Alabama is doing a very nice job of, Brent, is really spreading the ball around. David Smith has used 7 different receivers here in this first half already. He threw 14 passes in the first quarter, and is really doing a nice job of spreading it around, and that makes it very difficult to double team any receiver.
Murray Hill now back in as the Fighting Irish stay unbeaten.
On the play.
Again, I think when the center there, Roger Schultz, sees any defensive movement, he snaps the ball trying to get the offsides.
Offsides. Defense.
Whoops, almost the interesting thing, Brent, anytime a center and a quarterback see where a defensive player is offsides, the center will quickly snap the ball. But these penalties, uncharacteristic of Joe Paterno's teams, 12 penalties a week ago.
Penn State penalized 5 yards.
Joe's not very happy about it either.
Looks like Schoenwolf, number 75, gets the early start. Schultz, the center, heads up play. And that's an easy 5 yards for the tie.
Shaw and Hill are in the backfield. This is a first down, their 11th one. They have passed 7 times so far on first down. This is the toss to Hill. And he is stacked up at the 40-yard line. Downstairs to John Doctor with Bobby Humphrey.
Brent, you mentioned it, and as you can see, Bobby Humphrey's left foot is still in a cast. And what kind of progress has there been, Bobby?
Well, it's been doing great. Next week I get x-rays and find out for sure whether or not I need to have surgery and all that.
What if the foot is okay? Will you come back for the last few games of the season?
Well, all it'll be, discussed next week. Right now, I don't think that it'll be well enough to come back by the end of the season, but it's a possibility that it will be.
Another possibility is a red shirt, medical red shirt next year, as well as the NFL. Where are you leaning?
Well, right now, I'm just keeping things pretty much equal. I really don't know what I really want to do. Haven't really decided or made a decision what I'm going to do.
So it all will depend on how the x-rays come out in the next couple of weeks as to whether you'll be back. How's the team playing today?
Playing great. Offense moving the ball downfield. We don't have any points on the board. We got to get some points on the board. Defense playing a great job. They're doing a great job. They're stopping them, making them punt. I think we'll come out of this on top.
I know you wanted to say to Brent, of course, we saw you in that 220-yard game last year against Penn State. Hope you get well, my friend. Good luck to you. Now back to you, Brent.
3rd down and 3 for Alabama. Off a fake. Smith rifles a first down to Payne, and he's out of bounds at the 28-yard line.
David Smith is a very accurate quarterback. And what they try to do here off a play-action fake is to prevent a linebacker from taking the out route away in the play-action fake, and then they allow Greg Payne to run the out. In the offensive distribution, again, they like to pass it around. 7 different receivers have caught the ball. Again, characteristic of what Homer Smith is trying to do.
On first down, he throws complete to Battle. That's inside the 20-yard line. And that'll be still another first down.
You need guys like Marco Battle on your team. Even though he doesn't have blazing speed, he's got enough speed to get open. And again, right here, here's the receiver, and he finds a little dead spot in here, runs the little hook route. Has just enough slip and slide to find that little spot right in there. He sees the linebacker, comes inside of him. The ball is well thrown in time.
David Smith is red hot. He's hit 6 in a row, and this time they run the fullback right straight ahead on first down. So they get away from the first down pass inside the 20-yard line. Pat, how successful has Alabama been scoring inside the 20 this year?
They've had a very good year scoring inside the 20 and did a nice job of actually scoring touchdowns inside the 20. Today, though, even though they've had good field position, they have not been able to put anything on the board yet.
Second down and Kent is behind Stewart. This is Kent running the sweep, and he is stacked up at the line of scrimmage.
This is where Penn State's defense gets so very tough. They really play like a goal line defense all over the field. They play 8-man very close to the line of scrimmage. They like to move the strong safety, Chismar, up very close. It's tough to run it in against Penn State from this part of the field.
A young man by the name of Neil Hamilton contributed on that tackle. Smith to put it up, and he's under pressure. He will not get it off as Quintus McDonald sacks him. You can see that heavily bandaged right leg coming back after knee surgery.
Again, this is the third time that Quintus McDonald, number 92, comes off from the top of the screen, just gets on the corner of the tackle and then overpowers the tackle to get to David Smith. But Quintus McDonald has had a nice day today rushing the passer.
And Doyle's field goal here, 39 yards. Earlier, he missed one of 32 yards.
Phil Doyle's an interesting story. Many years ago, he sold Cokes right here at Legion Field and sat up here in the stands. And 1985, watched Van Tiffen kick the winning field goal against Auburn.
See, Bobby Humphrey sold Cokes. Is there anybody on this team who...
I'll tell you, they've got a lot of guys that are up here in the stands selling Cokes that are future prospects for this Tide team. I think they have 3 guys in the team.
Maybe it was Pepsi.
Might have been Pepsi. Yeah. This guy may be the next great running back at Alabama.
I guess that answers that. There he is. He could probably run about a 4.340. This time, Doyle makes it. And Alabama scores first against Penn State. 6:35 in the first half. 3-0 for Alabama. Derek Thomas had a father die in the Vietnamese conflict, and he carries that memory with him today.
Thoughts are always with me because there's always that image of, you know, he's still alive somewhere. He's not dead because nobody has proved that he is dead. So I just go on with that hope that one day he'll come back. And as far as the tragedy, I really didn't take it as a tragedy because my grandparents always explained to me as one day he'd be back. So I just looked at it in that aspect, and I always hoped that he would come back.
His father, one of the MIAs, he was on a bomber plane that was shot down, and his dad was the last one to jump out of the airplane. Shortly after his father left it, there was an explosion in the sky, and Derek's father has never been found. It is 3-0, Alabama with the lead, Doyle kicking it off, and Gary Brown at the 7. Out to the 32-yard line with a good return for Penn State. Well, next week we'll follow the Nittany Lions.
This year as a freshman, looking forward to seeing him as a sophomore.
Now Penn State trying to get a scoring drive mounted. They had a touchdown pass called back because of holding. Freshman quarterback Saka has Green and Brown in the backfield. This is Brown, and he is stacked up. Derek Thomas, one of the defenders, awaiting him there on the corner. They could not get number 55 out of the way.
And bottom of the screen, number 55 again. Again, we said he's just as good playing off a tight end. Fights off 2 blocks there, the tight end and then John Green to make the stop. And that's what I like about him. He can rush the passer when he's unblocked, but he can also fight through a lot of blockers to make a stop.
Now he shifts over to the tight end side. Still as a down lineman. Saka, under pressure, did get it off just in time, but what a whack he took, and Green comes down the sideline to the 40-yard line, and Saka slowly gets up. It's a 29-yard gain, even under intense pressure. That freshman quarterback delivered the pass.
And he takes a shot in the ribs by Steve Webb, number 84, gets turned, but has the presence to dump it off. And again, Penn State runs screen passes, I think, better than any college team in America, because they don't give it away, the linemen don't give it away, and they wait just a little bit longer before those linemen go out in front of the screen men.
McDuffie brings the play in from the sideline. Ball is at the Alabama 40. See how Saka responds after taking that hit. They'll hand the ball to Green this time, and he's brought down by Webb at the 40-yard line. What a good tackle by 84.
Steve Webb is really substituting today for George Bethune, who's been injured, but he's made 3 good plays, 2 of them in a row. This time, we saw him on the pass rush, the play earlier, fights through the offensive blocker to make the stop. And Steve Webb is a guy capable of a lot of big plays for this Tide defense, and he has done that today. 2 in a row.
John Wolf, number 82, in at one of the tight ends with Young on a double tight formation. Saka to throw out of it. Has time. Complete to Timpson. And he is out of bounds at the 17-yard line. That's a tough pass to throw. It's a 23-yard gain. The freshman with that out pattern to the far side.
And most big guys with big arms don't have touch. But what Saka does here, he shows very nice touch. Right over one defender, that's Kendrick, 27, in front of the free safety. And that's a wonderfully thrown ball by Saka.
One of the great things about watching a talent like this is you know someday, you know in your heart he's going to explode. 1st and 10 now for the Nittany Lions. Saka back again, has protection, on the roll, throws incomplete. Wanted Timpson again, who was working an out pattern inside the 5-yard line.
It appears as we watch Tony Saka that he seems to be much more accurate when he's dropping back. It seems like every time he has rolled out, or most times he's rolled out, he's thrown the ball high. When he stands back in that pocket and can use all 6'5" of his height, he's much more accurate.
How about the job that Coach Sheridan does with North Carolina State? As those scores were flipping by, you saw the final. They beat Clemson today. Gary Brown into that backfield on 2nd and 10 for Penn State. They have the ball at the Bama 17-yard line, trailing by a field goal. They hand to Brown behind the right side. He gets inside the 15-yard line. This will still leave them with a 3rd and long.
That has been the difference thus far today, I think, is the Bama defense has gotten the Penn State offense in a lot of 3rd and long situations.
Straight back. Flush down to the pocket. On the run. Drops it off to his tight end. And he is brought down quickly by Charles Gardner.
Again, Saka did a nice job with his feet avoiding a couple of rushmen, but it was very good coverage by the Alabama defense, which forced him to hold the ball this long. Again, quick pressure on the outside by number 78 Rushton, and then good coverage. Throws really a dangerous pass there that Gardner may have intercepted.
36-yard attempt by Ray Tarasi to tie it for Penn State. He's got it up and through. We're deadlocked at 3. 2:45 to go. Penn State and Alabama dead even. College football country, Birmingham, Alabama. And Pat, we certainly want to wish a young woman a speedy recovery, and that's Julie Beatty. She's a junior guard for Alabama's women's basketball team. She's recovering at home from surgery on her leg. Julie watching Crimson Tide in action here this afternoon, and Julie, get well. The basketball team needs you soon. Right now it'll be Penn State kicking it off to Alabama. Deadlocked at 3 with 2:45 to go. Just your typical low score in Penn State, Alabama, Donnybrook. And Henry Atkins, number 2, will kick it off for the Lions. Low kick, takes a big hop and caught right at the sideline. Would have gone out of bounds, and it is returned to the 24-yard line by Casinas.
David Smith has really been throwing the ball very well and throw over the field. Likes to throw to his tight end. He's a left-handed quarterback. Again, the short, controlled passing game is what Alabama has featured, primarily to that tight end and little inside routes by the wide receiver.
He's challenged that Penn State secondary on first down. Let's see what he does here this time. Shift in the middle by the Penn State tackles. He'll throw again. Drops it right over the middle and almost intercepted. Did Chismar get it? No. Incomplete is the call. Brian Chismar almost came up with his second interception of the half.
Brian Chismar has played very well all season long. He dives low for this one. It looks like the ball actually hit the ground. Yeah, the ball hit the ground there. There's a nice call by the official. But played well all year long, Brian Chismar is, particularly against the run.
Now 2nd and 10. They'll run Murray Hill. He slips free of a tackle and bolts out for a first down.
Murray Hill is like a little pinball. He's 5'7", 169 pounds, but he got real good acceleration in the hole. Watch the right guard, number 50, Chris Robinette, pull right here and lead the way for Murray Hill. Murray Hill kind of hides behind him. Puts a nice block on Gobb, the linebacker, and then he bounces through the hole.
1st and 10 from the Tide 35. Smith back again with time. Drops it off, incomplete. Ball should have been caught by Hill. So it'll be 2nd and 10 at 2:07 here in the first half.
And Alabama has all 3 of its timeouts remaining. They've been very effective most of this game throwing the short routes on first down. But once they've gotten down inside the 25-yard line, they've stalled because Penn State plays that 8-man front, I think, very difficult to score on down there in that part of the field.
2nd down and 10. They run Kent. Nowhere. The middle of the Nittany Lion defense brings him down at the 35, and it'll be 3rd down and 10.
And for the Nittany Lion defense, if they stop them here on 3rd down, they should call the timeout because they have 3 of them remaining.
Slot left with Battle. Payne is outside of him. Smith rolls in that direction. Goes long to Payne. Intercepted. Picked off by Perry. And Perry is down at the 36-yard line.
Some defensive backs just lull you to sleep. They almost make it look like a receiver is open just for a second so that they can recover. And if you have confidence in your recovery ability, as Perry, number 9, does, the receiver gets open, and he comes in and makes the play. David Smith thought he had Payne wide open, but a nice recovery by Darren Perry, the corner from the other side, who made a real nice interception and gives Penn State a chance with 1:20 and 3 timeouts remaining.
Green and Brown are the running backs for Saka. First and 10. Timpson out wide to the right. McDuffie is the slot man. Saka drops it off to Green, the fullback. He comes out to the 41-yard line. Well, we're talking about a freshman quarterback who has a great potential. And at halftime, Rodney Peete, who's done a terrific job at USC, will be talking to Jim Nance. Watch Saka here. He throws goes complete, and McDuffie was juggling it and held on at midfield for a first 10. The clock is stopped with 53 seconds. Neither team has used a timeout. Penn State has all three, and the rifle arm of the freshman. They split the backs, slot to the left. Saka flushed out of the pocket, waiting for someone to break free. Now he throws it out of bounds and kills the clock. The Alabama secondary had the wide receivers well covered that time.
Well, they double covered the outside guys. It was a beautiful job of coverage by the tie, but Saka did a nice thing. He did not force the ball. He did not take a sack, and still he lives another day.
Well, let's present this week's Toyota Leadership Award to those players for outstanding performance, academics, and citizenship. John Green from Penn State, he's a business administration major. David Smith from Alabama, the marketing major. $1,000 check on behalf of Toyota to both of these fine schools. Now on second down, and John Green is stacked up. Timeout is called. That's the first timeout used by Penn State, or Alabama for that matter, with 37 seconds to go.
Rather a strange call, but they thought they could catch him quick on an inside trap, but it didn't work. Good defense by the tie.
Now they'll turn the rifle loose. We'll be right back. Well, we've got 37 seconds left until the half. Pat, it's too bad we can't get that Dreamland barbecue down there in Tuscaloosa to cater our halftime up here. Man, I'll tell you, huh? Was that some barbecue they treated us to?
I asked the guy, this must be the best barbecue in America. He says, no, the world. he didn't hold back at all.
Whoa. Can't beat this Alabama hospitality. Third down now and 10. Back goes Saka. Fires it complete to the 45-yard line to McDuffie. Coming across with Charles Gardner, the defensive back who was on him, and clock running down toward 20 seconds. This is a fourth down play.
Precisely fourth down. It looks like they're still going to go for it, though, although Paterno is deliberating on it. And he may just decide to let it run out. 4th and 5 does not want to turn the ball over, although you think he'd take one snap and just throw it deep.
Got a couple of timeouts. He'll use one with 2 seconds. Now there's no chance if they fail on the long pass, if that's what they want to do. If they throw it deep down over the middle, Alabama's not going to get the ball near midfield.
Well, you've got a guy with an awfully big arm in Tony Saka. It gives you a chance. You've got nothing to lose. Clearly he has the kind of arm that can get the ball into the end zone. We've all seen through the years this Hail Mary pass or Big Ben, whatever you call it, tip ball drill. We've seen lots of touchdowns scored at this series of the game, or part of the game, and you might as well give it a try.
Sure, he's got Terry Smith out there, number 8. He's got speed. We know about Timpson's marvelous running ability. Well, I guess if there's any change, Pat, college football through the last decade, it has been the unbelievable speed that the game now features all over the field.
It was interesting. I think the key for Penn State was the 1979 Sugar Bowl when Alabama beat them 14-7. And Joe Paterno, after that game, he thought he was beaten by a team that had a lot of speed, and he went out and recruited after that time a lot more speed, and it shows and reflected his 2 championship teams that he's won in the 80s.
Last play of the half. Trips wide to the right. Saka against the 2-man rush. Everybody back. The freshman puts it into the corner of the end zone. And it falls incomplete. But they took a crack at it. So we've come to the end of the first half. Penn State 3, Alabama 3. A freshman quarterback for the Nittany Lions comes to Legion Field in Birmingham. The biggest play of the half didn't count. A 68-yard touchdown pass. Saka to Timpson. Called back because of holding. Alabama takes a 3-0 lead. Then Penn State ties it. That's where we are. We'll come back after this message and a word for your local station. On his way out of the tunnel, Joe Paterno stopped and told our John Dockery his thoughts about the first half.
The University of Alabama ticket office is
I
now
think we play with a lot of determination. I think we got to do it another half to make sure we're a football team. We're playing tough. We missed a couple opportunities, but we hang in there and maybe just play a little tougher the second half. We can win the football game.
What about the offensive consistency? It hasn't been...
Well, they're tough to be consistent against. They give you so many different looks and what have you, and we can't throw a lot of high percentage passes. He's all over the place. The guy's not wide open. He's not want to let it go, so it's kind of tough, but we'll hang in there. Maybe we get something going in the second half.
Thanks, Coach.
Okay.
All right, John, and now we get ready for the second half. Atkins with the ball on the tee. Penn State will kick it off. Pierre Good and Kent back deep for return for the tie. Deadlocked at 3. Short kickoff. Good up to the 13, the 20. Breaks a tackle at the 25 and spins out to the 29-yard line. 1st and 10 now for Alabama.
First downs have been very tough for both teams, and in particular, I think, for Penn State, when you face too many 3rd and longs against a pretty good Alabama defense, you know you're in for some trouble in having any consistency offensively.
David Smith, the left-hander, brings the tie to the line of scrimmage. He was throwing on 1st down in the first half. Stewart in front of Hill. He'll continue that pattern. Going deep and over Payne. Payne was covered by number 36, Sherrod Rain. What kind of success has Joe Paterno had against the SEC, Pat?
Really not been very good. He's been successful just about every other conference, but you see there he has a losing record against the SEC, and I think top to bottom, the SEC is the toughest conference in college football.
Now Turner into that backfield along with Hill. Turner, the lead blocker. They fake the end around with Pierre Good, and there's an alley for Hill. Out near midfield before he is brought down. So they take the fake on the end around with Pierre Good, and he runs 21 yards before Eddie Johnson tackles him.
And if Eddie Johnson doesn't make this touchdown, doesn't make this tackle, it is a touchdown. Pierre Good has all the speed. He fooled everybody on a good fake by Hill, but give Eddie Johnson, 39, some credit there, because there was nobody behind him to stop Hill.
Johnson, the only player not buying that fake. You saw him come over one-on-one. Penn State has used 20 defensive players here this afternoon. That's typical of Joe Paterno, using a lot of men on defense. This time, Smith is buried. 28, Chismar coming in on the blitz, helps lead the way that time, so they throw the old safety blitz. Dave Zott was there, the big nose man, too.
Zott right in the middle of your screen, and from the top of the screen, Chismar, number 28, the strong safety. He has been a factor this game. He's played very close to the line of scrimmage where he's very effective. He's almost like a linebacker when he plays that close to the ball, and Zott, the nose tackle, made the stop.
2nd down and 21, and Alabama goes into the shotgun for the first time. Smith, under pressure, drops the screen pass, and he overthrew the receiver, Wayne Shaw. Had it set up beautifully to his right, and the pass was simply too high.
And Brent, the reason he overthrew it was because of good pressure by Giannetti, number 85, who got his hands up, and Smith, trying to throw it over him, overthrew the receiver. You know, Brent, what we haven't seen much is Pierre Good. He is the man, number 2, who has all the speed on this team, but he has not touched the ball other than on kicks.
And they have sent him far to the right. He is flanked out on 3rd and 21. They double him, and Smith can't get it off. Andre Collins, number 31. And that is the 4th sack of the game by the Penn State defense.
And the second by Andre Collins, the man, one of 19 children who plays inside, and he was a strong safety a year ago. Watch him, number 31. This time he lines up on the right side as an outside linebacker because they want him off the corner, his speed.
Moore standing on his 17-yard line. Timpson set to return for Penn State. He's driven back for the fair catch at the 25-yard line. Calmly makes the catch When you come back, it'll be 1st and 10 for Penn State right there after a 44-yard punt by Moore. We're tied at 3. Love the Paternos.
Boy, John drove him into announcing, didn't he?
That's right. All right. 1st and 10 now for the Nittany Lions. Thompson and Green, the running back. Saka on 1st down with protection, incomplete. He wanted Timpson coming into the middle, and it'll be 2nd and 10.
One thing Tony Saka has not demonstrated too much of today is a little bit of touch. He's got that real strong arm, and he can clearly get the ball downfield because he has that one. But that time he had Michael Timpson wide open over the middle and put a little bit too much on the ball.
Terry Smith replaces Timpson. David Daniels, the other wide receiver, on this 2nd and 10. They'll toss to Thompson. Green blocking, no hold there. Boy, Keith McCants, number 86, really came through powerfully that time.
McCants is right here, and he chases the ball all the way from behind. He is a guy that Bill Curry thinks is going to have a big career at Alabama. Only a sophomore. He's a big guy who can run and can run you down from behind.
Odell Wilson split far to the right. Penn State with a slot formation on 3rd and 11. Saka wants Wilson. He was cutting on the inside, and Thompson had come through. So Penn State will be forced to punt away.
And Saka only 7 of 18 for 83 yards because of some pretty good pass coverage by the Tide defense.
This is the 5th punt of the afternoon. Back deep, Murray Hill, number 45. Gets it off in the teeth of that rush. Hill from the 34, surrounded and down at the 37-yard line. Well, some big games this afternoon. Arkansas rolling toward the Cotton Bowl, beating Houston, and then Arkansas will have a major confrontation with Miami late this season down in the Orange Bowl. How about that upset? North Carolina State gets it done at home. Auburn, many still believe they're the power of the SEC, even though they were upset in Baton Rouge. 1st and 10. Smithy is back. Incomplete. We wanted Marco Battle on the far side.
Brent, talking to Homer Smith, the offensive coordinator, he talked a lot about the inside linebackers for Penn State. Really well coordinated. He called them the Rockettes. They really, the 3 guys here, this is actually Chismore playing as a linebacker, Gobb, and right here you see number 31 Collins, but they shift and they play very well together. All 3 of them, they really react to the ball, read the quarterback's eyes.
The Rockettes, huh? Those legs up on the stage. Smith rolling. He throws complete to Russell, and Russell is out at midfield. A 1st down for Alabama on a 14-yard pass play.
It's a very nice touch by the left-hander, David Smith. And again, I think this is a characteristic of a left-handed quarterback. Somehow they just throw a little soft little pass right over Karpinski. An easy catch for Lamont Russell, the tight end.
Alabama has thrown 13 times on its 18 1st downs today. Shaw set in front of Hill in the eye. And this is Shaw. He bolts, breaks a tackle, still going inside the 40-yard line.
If Alabama can run the ball a little bit, just a little bit like Shaw did right there, they have a chance. They've relied so much on the pass, they have not been able to run the ball, which is a surprise. When you think of Alabama teams in the past, they've always run the ball well.
On the move now with a 1st down at the Penn State 39. Stewart in at fullback. Smith wants Payne, and he's got it on the near side. Steps out of bounds at the 26-yard line. 13 yards and another tied first down.
And this is a very nice catch by Greg Penn because he knows he's going to get hit. He is bumped early by Hamilton, number 30, and then the free safety comes over to try to put the hit on him. That takes a lot of concentration, and Penn never lost sight of the ball. That's a great catch.
Draw play, and Penn State was ready. The defense jumped all over that. Neil Hamilton, number 30, cleaning up on the tackle. Auburn has suffered. Smith back. Fakes it. Penalty marker is down. Now he throws to Hill. But there's a penalty marker down back in the area of the protective pocket as Kent, number 30, was the time. He had replaced Hill.
And again, this has been part of Alabama's problem this year, has been the inconsistency. They have not been able to run the ball when they've really had to. It's been some mistakes and some penalties. They have a drive going here and then the holding call. Bill Curry, in his second year here at Alabama, I think, Brent, it takes 2 or 3 years to get a program and really be able to give it your own mark.
On the offense, 10-yard penalty, still second down.
Really only Curry's second year in recruiting, and it's tough. The fans are always going to give you pressure. The press is going to give you pressure. It's so tough following a couple guy like Bear Bryant. You can see what he has done after 17 games, which is better than the 2 preceding him. But he's going to get it done here, I think, if they give him a chance.
Second down and 20. They run Hill and Gobb, number 63. Stacks him up with Schoenwolf, 75, helping out on the tackle for the Nittany Lions. Third down. Battle and Payne come onto the field along with Shaw. 3 offensive changes for the Tide. Battle flanked out to the right. Payne to the left. They need 18 yards for the first down. And the safety blitz incomplete. Chismar was coming hard from the left side of the defense.
And on 3rd and 18, that looks like a funny call, but what David Smith saw was the blitz. He was trying to get the out, maybe 10 yards to give his field goal kicker a try. Didn't complete it, so now they have to punt.
And Moore is on to punt. Let's see if Penn State puts anybody deep. They'll back Johnson up now. Let's see if Moore can pooch one down inside the 20. He's standing at the Penn State 48-yard line, and they take too much time. He wants to back it up, give himself another 5 yards. Try not to drop it into the end zone for the touchback.
That's one of the things it's one of my pet peeves when a punter punts the ball into the end zone from here. If you can't punt the ball out of bounds inside the 20-yard line, you have a problem. And I think he was trying to get him some room and give him the little pooch kick. I love that word.
Tell us what you really think.
Well, I see punters do that all the time. It drives me crazy. They punt the ball in the end zone.
Now he's standing back on the Alabama 47. Hangs in hot, fair catch, and underneath it, boy, he was staggering because of the sunshine, and he made the catch there at the 16-yard line. We'll be back. We're still tied, Penn State and Alabama, 3-all. They sure cherish that memory down here, as well they should, what he did for this state. Now, Green and Brown are the running backs. There's Brown, bounces off a blocker, and he's down at the 21-yard line.
Brown.
Brent, Don Lindsay, the defensive coordinator of the Tide, really has done a nice job. Early in the show, we talked about how this defense had to change its character after they lost Gene Jelks. They wanted to be a man-for-man type of team that blitzed the quarterback a lot, but after Don Lindsay lost Jelks, he had to readjust his team, put players in different positions, play a lot more zone, but they played very well today.
And they move Kendrick from safety over to the corner. Mangum, the other corner, 29. Now they bring Green straight up at the heart of that defense. They've done a pretty good job against Derek Thomas here this afternoon.
They've done a real nice job, but it's taken generally 2 or 3 guys to block him. We saw in the first half, actually, he fought through 3 guys to make a tackle, but he is getting an awful lot of attention. But Willie Wyatt inside has played real well, as has Steve Webb.
The wide receivers are Terry Smith. He has come onto the field. He's out to the left. Odell Wilson, 13. This is a 3rd and 4. Now they move Thomas over to the left side and stand him up. Off a fake, they roll the other way, and Webb laps him up. Thomas, Ram, and Webb were the 2 defenders. And Saka didn't have a chance, and Penn State must punt again.
And Steve Webb has a burst off the ball, and every great pass rusher has done that, but number 84 has done this 3 times off the backside. Just shot the inside gap. He was chased down by McCants, and then Webb got him from the backside.
Murray Hill set to return. A low punt. He's got it at the 46. And he is down to the Penn State 44-yard line, where it'll be 1st and 10 all day long. Alabama has had the superior field position in this game, but they've been unable to take advantage of it.
And it's really when they've gotten down, Brent, to about the 25-yard line.
Well, tomorrow, too, we'll hear from them at 12:30 Eastern. Now on 1st down, Smith again throwing quickly to Russell, the tight end, and he will be stopped there at the 40-yard line. That's where his forward progress was stopped. So that's a gain of almost 5 yards on that pass play.
What Penn State has done the second half, really, though, is figured they've got to get more pressure on David Smith. In the first half, he had way too much time in the pocket. Thus far in the second half, they've come after him a lot more, particularly with Andre Collins, number 31, who's put some pressure from the outside linebacker position.
And Alabama continues to substitute. 3 offensive players per down. Pierre Good, flank to the right. Richardson is outside of him. Here is Hill. He is stacked up at the 38-yard line. Let's get an update from Jim Nance. 52-18. We got a 3-all tie here. 3rd down now for the Crimson Tide. 4 yards to go for the 1st down. Smith rolling to the right, hits Russell for the 1st down. He's out of bounds at the Penn State 28-yard line.
Well, Lamont Russell did a nice job of catching that ball and adjusting on it. And also, I think the sun was right in his eyes. The ball was right into his throat. And he had to make a nice adjustment. Some big guys can't make adjustments with their hands and arms, but you see the nice adjustment Russell made there.
75,808 on hand in Legion Field. Here's Murray Hill. Found a gap and got inside the 25-yard line.
Big stop by Eddie Johnson again on defense, and Joe Paterno has to be happy with the way Eddie Johnson is playing at free safety. He was a corner for the last 2 years. I think he got a little shaken up on the play, but has made 3 physical plays, and that's what they need out of him, and he's really getting more and more comfortable playing free safety.
Now on 2nd down, Smith tipped incomplete, and Range was one of the defenders back in the passing zone, number 36, and it will be 3rd down as Smith wanted his tight end.
I think the ball was tipped by number 31, Andre Collins. There's Collins right there, gets his right hand on it. I tell you, Collins has made a big difference too. Converted from a safety position. They liked him because they needed speed on the inside. He has provided that.
So Collins came in first, and then it was Raines defending on the play. Now on third down, under pressure, gets it off, and it is complete to the 13-yard line, and Greg Payne, and what a throw by Smith, who was hammered. Quintus McDonald again coming at him, number 92.
And you're right, McDonald left of the screen, 92 right there. But David Smith gets rid of the ball very quickly, and a lot of times left-handers don't seem to get rid of the ball quickly for whatever reason, but that time Smith got rid of it very quickly under a big rush, and that's a nice throw to Payne.
They got to the Penn State 13 once in the first half, their deepest penetration. Now they're at the 14-yard line. They bring the tailback, option pass, diving incompletion in the corner of the end zone. David Castile throwing left-handed, and he led his wide man battle just a little bit too much.
Last year, Bobby Humphrey beat him on this play, but right here again, Eddie Johnson does not bite on the fake. The tailback goes down, Battle runs the corner route, but it's saved by the free safety and the corner, who aren't fooled. That's a good play. The corner makes a nice play as well.
Castile stays in the game. Pierre Good, flank wide, and he is stood up by Chismar. Brian Chismar out of Swissvale, Pennsylvania. The 6'1", 205-pound junior does the job. Ball back at the 19-yard line. Smith again. And it's incomplete as the defensive pressure was forced again that time. He could not hit Kevin Turner, and they deflect another ball.
Yeah, I think it's about the third or fourth deflection right by that man, Schoenwolf. Again, I think that's his third deflection of the day. He is 6'4". He is well coached. Watch how he gets his hand up. One of the subtle things that can help you win a ball game. Gets the big old left paw, really gets blocked, but that's the third deflection by Schoenwolf today. One of those real subtle things that Jerry Sandusky, the defensive coordinator, teaches those defensive linemen. Get those hands up.
Now Philip Doyle with a 34-yard field goal attempt, as Schoenwolf is helped off the field. He was also shaken up making that play for the Nittany Lions.
Now in this kind of game, a very close game, this is a very important play. From Penn State, they've had some success blocking a kick this year. I believe it was Collins.
Moore, the punter, is the holder. And he's got it. Doyle's field goal puts Alabama ahead 6-3. 4:10 remaining in the third quarter. So the battle of the field goals continues in Birmingham.
I'd like to tell you a story of Mike Nichols, who was the Alabama equipment manager.
What story that is. Living out a dream here in Alabama.
You know that Herbert Hoover was a manager out at Stanford University years ago? Bet you didn't know that one. This man may be for all we know.
Doyle kicking it off. McDuffie and Thompson. McDuffie botches it and then gets the handle on the first hop.
The Crimson Tide defense has been very good all day long. Penn State coming into today's game have averaged nearly 400 yards. Today only 145. McDuffie, the true freshman, really had a hard time getting a handle on that one. Didn't really judge it well. It's a very short kick, and sometimes those are very difficult to judge when you're back on the goal line.
Sean Redmond now in the game. Penn State backfield along with Thompson. Saka with Thomas closing in, incomplete. So they have moved Derek Thomas' position now. They have been standing it up. on the left side of the defense. He was blitzing that time, and he got in Saka's face.
Number 55, you can see him shift over here to the open side of the formation. Ordinarily, he's been on the tight end most of the first half. In the second half, he's come out and played the open side, and that's what he does best, the burst off the line of scrimmage and raise havoc with the quarterback.
That's the position he'll play in the NFL. He'll be a stand-up outside linebacker, undoubtedly in a 3-4. Saka, he's got him coming from the other direction this time. So Thomas goes back, charges in from the right side, and now he's putting on a show that is reminiscent of one Cornelius Bennett.
Again, this time from the right side. The play before was the last time. The tight end tries to block, but he's just got too much of a burst. Comes from the backside, gets some help from Thornton, number 94. That's his third tackle, the second in a row.
He's the man the Penn State offense must control, leading sacker in the Southeastern Conference. 3rd and 14 for the freshman. Thomas on the right side, and down goes Saka. They seal him up that time. Nowhere to go, and Penn State forced the punt.
Penn State is going to have to do is put a tight end or a lineman on Derek Thomas. A back cannot block him. It's going to have to be a tackle or a guard coming out to try to pick him up.
There's an injured player, and it is the nose man for Alabama. Number 98, Willie Wyatt, is down at the 22-yard line. Appears to be an injured left leg or knee.
Boy, has he played well inside at the nose tackle all day long.
And while we have an injury timeout, let's take a look at these two fine schools, Alabama and Penn State.
Arkansas 26, Houston 21. First quarter, Missouri.
From Legion Field in Birmingham, Alabama, with John Dockery and Pat Hayden, I'm Brett Musburger. A battle of the field goals so far, 6-3, and Penn State forced the punt. Derek Thomas has blocked a pair already this year. He's coming from the left side, but he did not get in on the punter this time. So they set Murray Hill's return from the 35. A hole on the right side, spins free at midfield. And Alabama with good field position again. There is a penalty flag down. The 17-yard return by Hill with a yellow flag down at the 44.
We have a hold on the run back against Alabama.
So that'll push Alabama back to the other side of the 50. Well, how about these two defenses against the run here this afternoon?
It really has been impressive. What I really liked is both defenses have kind of mixed it up. They put different people in different positions. We've talked, of course, about Derek Thomas, but Penn State's done the same with Andre Collins.
I imagine a lot of Penn State fans around the country are probably disappointed about the play selection. And one of the things they should remember about a freshman quarterback, they don't give him everything that they've had through the years over there. You really have to simplify things for a freshman when you've got him at quarterback.
And the defense is going to give you a lot of looks, and it makes it even tougher.
Now it is 1st and 10. Tied with the ball on their own 42 and a 3-point lead. And Smith on first down, incomplete that time for Kevin Turner.
Again, the big difference here in the second half is Penn State really coming after David Smith. That was the 4th time that Brian Chismar, the strong safety, came after Bill Curry's quarterback. He almost looks like he could be an undergraduate here, doesn't he?
Rich Schoenwolf, Pat, is back for Penn State. In the middle of that defense, down the right end. They run to the short side with Hill, and nothing going that time. And for those of you who have just joined us, our score is 6-3, Alabama over Penn State. Battle of the field goals is rather simple. Alabama striking first on a 39-yarder by Doyle, and at the half we were tied at 3. Taurasi hit a 36-yarder. And a short time ago, Doyle again, 34 yards out, and that's it. Now 2 minutes and 15 seconds to go in the third. 3rd and 7. Shaw is in at fullback. And Smith, the left-hander, to throw it again. Incomplete. Wanted the tight end. Crowd wanted interference called on Chismar. And Curry not very happy either.
Chismar lined up right over the tight end, I believe, number 85 Cross. And I believe that really, Curry was claiming that he was held, but I thought he went through the back. It looked like it should have been pass interference.
Moore in the teeth of a rush. Hangs it high, and Timpson fair catches it. And there's a penalty flag down. The punter, Moore, appeared to be roughed.
Again, that's
a 5-yard penalty for running into the kicker. 5 yards.
Still not a first down. There's two different penalties, roughing and running into the kicker. They determined this is the 5-yard penalty.
They may decline this. That punt was fair caught inside the 15-yard line. Alabama may decline this and let him have it back there at the 12-yard line. Let's see what they do. Timpson put his hand up quickly to make the fair catch.
On the defense for running into the kicker. Still fourth down.
Still fourth, and now Bill Curry's decision is whether he is going to go for it. I'd be surprised if he did it. Also, it's an interesting call. Now they are trying to decline it.
They should decline that penalty.
Yeah.
The one ball is left back at the 12-yard line. They should give Penn State the ball back there.
Absolutely, that's the right call. Moore, the punter, is trying to decline the penalty now.
Here they come. Now they got it straightened out, don't they? Yeah, there goes the Penn State offense onto the field now. They'll have that ball back down around the 12-yard line. The way the defense has played, it just simply didn't make any sense at all for them to try it again or even to gamble. If they failed on a gamble, they'd get the ball in midfield. Hey, Pat.
He has done a very nice job there. Has an undefeated team. Best since '83.
Now let's see what the Nittany Lions can do. They need a drive. Green and Thompson. Hostile crowd. Freshman quarterback. They'll run Green out to the 15-yard line. Thomas in on the wrap-up, but it's been a tough defense to run against.
And if Penn State is going to win this game today, I think right here at this part of the game is where the offensive line has to create a couple of creases, grind out a few first downs, and take some of the pressure off Tony Sack.
Left them in 2nd and 7. Wilson, Timpson, and McDuffie are the wide men. Thomas through, flushes Saka out, under pressure, incomplete, overthrew Timpson. It is a savage defense being played by the Crimson Tide right now.
You know, Brett, the amazing thing to me is even as much pressure as they're putting on Saka, there isn't a lot of wide receivers who are wide open. Again, watch the pressure here by Saka, number 55. Again, this time he lines up inside, comes right up the gut, forces him outside. But usually when there's that much pressure, there's somebody open. But the pass coverages has been awfully good by the time.
Penn State is 0 of 9 on 3rd downs. Here they are with another one. Now they bring Thomas from the left side. He's picked up, passes deflected by the middle of the defense.
Big old Thomas Ram, number 95, who was 6'7", deflected that ball.
He's 0 of 5 this half. Freshman Tony Saka unable to move it against the fierce defense, which is now employing Derek Thomas as a sort of all-purpose monster, moving him from position to position, never allowing the blockers to take an aim. The punter. And he drove Hill back from the 29-yard line. And he is down at the 37-yard line. Neil Hamilton making the stop. 58-yard punt and an 8-yard return. And a penalty marker is down at the 39-yard line here in Legion Field, Birmingham, Alabama. Alabama leading Penn State 6-3. We're inside of 1 minute left in the third.
it's a defensive game, a very good defensive game for Alabama and Penn State. Derek Thomas has been the key for the Tide defense, and Andre Collins, the junior linebacker for Penn State, has played very well.
Auburn running it up on Mississippi State. And that ball being put down at the 37-yard line now as one of the officials goes over to explain across the way to Joe Paterno. And Curry indicating he's going to bring him back off the field and go again. So it will be first down in Alabama after the penalty. The ball is put at the Bama 46-yard line. David Smith hurries onto the field with the play call. Payne out wide to the right. Battle to the left. Murray Hill, the lone setback. Double tight end formation. They run Hill through a big hole on the left side. The penalty marker comes down as Eddie Johnson came up and made a fine tackle at the 47-yard line.
And the tight end, Howard Cross, made a real nice block, although he might have gotten his arm around one of the defensive players.
Holding.
Left of your screen, number 85, who's a terrific blocker as a tight end. This time he grabs the jersey right there at Chismar, and that's where the holding call came from.
Alabama 6, Penn State 3. Nothing but field goals here this afternoon. Now the ball is marked back to the 43-yard line after that holding call. And Penn State just unable to do a thing. 3 downs and out. That's been the story, and -8 total yards. But you know, that's what was happening to Ole Miss, not to bring up an ugly memory, and then they hit a couple of big plays. Chismar comes up on the line, not blitzing this time. Hill through a crease, and finally brought down by Andre Collins from behind, number 31.
As we head into the fourth quarter, there's only 24 seconds left in the third. This is where an offensive line, I think, can win or lose the ball game. Again, just try to get 2 or 3 first downs, get yourself in position to score, not have to have the quarterback comes up with all the big plays.
Second down and 4 for Alabama. Shaw, the fullback, in front of Hill. This is Shaw, and he is wrapped up by McDonald, number 92. And that'll do it for the third quarter. Alabama took the lead 6-3 with its second field goal of the game, and we'll return after this message and a word from your local station. Quarters. Through 3 quarters, it looks like a field goal battle so far. Exactly what we've got on our hands right now, 6-3. And a summary of the game shows that Saka was shut out so far in the second half. The rushing yards, not many on either side. Now it is 3rd down and 6 for Alabama. Smith off a fake. Now he throws under pressure, incomplete.
A quick pressure by Rich Schoenwolf really made it tough on David Smith, and it's tough for a left-handed quarterback as he rolls to his right to try to get the pass. Watch, Brent, the pressure here by Schoenwolf, 75, who quickly beats Robinette, number 50, and David Smith can't unload the ball when he wants to when the receiver was open. That's a dangerous pass.
Now Eddie Johnson set to return this punt, and not Timpson. Moore hits it at the 40, hangs it very high. Fair catch at the 23-yard line. So the NFL tomorrow, and 10 for Penn State. Looking for some semblance of an offense here behind freshman quarterback Tony Sacca. Derek Thomas is down the right side, and they run up the middle. And so far, Pat, they have been unable to generate a real sharp running game which will get some pressure off the freshman quarterback.
And that's exactly what has happened, particularly on first down. Has always been second and long and third and long that Tony Sacca has faced. But Brent, when I think about all the Penn State games over the years, because of their style of offense, Joe Paterno has always been involved, or a lot of times, in close games. And they've won a lot of those close games by playing very well in the second half of the fourth quarter.
Noseman Wyatt out of the game because of an injury. Alabama going without him. Sacca, here comes Thomas, hanging on him, incomplete. He wanted Timpson. Kendrick with the coverage, and Thomas was at his waist that time. Let's get an update from Jim Nance. Jim? The upset of the season.
There you go. They're on a roll.
Third down at 7. Jim, also congratulations to Johnny Majors. Here comes the old end around with Daniels. The defense ready again. Still short of a first down, and Penn State will have to punt as Charles Gardner, number 3, comes up to make the hit.
It's going to have to be the Penn State special teams or defense that comes up with a big play if they're to win this game today.
Well, here's a punting opportunity. Helkowski standing at the Penn State 15-yard line. 10-man rush. They come after him, and he gets it off, and Derek Thomas was closing in from the right. And it takes a Penn State bounce. Down at the 34, that punt was almost blocked by number 55. He is some talent. When we come back, we'll have 13:07 left at Legion Field in Birmingham. Sky in Alabama. 6-3. Bama over the Nittany Lions. Penn State defense looking for that big play that'll turn it in its direction. Schoenwolf has played a spectacular game. Collins has been outstanding. Johnson marvelous in the secondary. The toss play to Hill. Great block. And he's through to the 44-yard line.
It was a terrific block by Kevin Turner, number 24, that cleared the way for Hill. Watch Turner. He's the fullback right here. He's going to kick out and clear the way for Hill. In the I formation, the fullback has got to be a devastating blocker. He blocks number 18, Baggett, right there, right off his feet, and cleared the way for Hill. Terrific block.
Hill has rushed 17 times for 91 yards, giving the Tide a 1st and 10 on their own 44-yard line. They'll try him. He bobbles the ball, but he grabs it back and still turned it into a gain. It could have been a disaster. He lost the Chismar pressing at the line. Safety up tight, expecting the run. They bluff the end around. Here's Hill again. And he is wrapped up at the 49-yard line. And it will leave Alabama with a 3rd and 5. Quintus McDonald, we should have mentioned him too in a recap of some of the defensive players who have played awfully well here this afternoon for Penn State.
He has had 3 sacks this afternoon and really has applied a lot of pressure to David Smith and played very well against the run as well as the pass.
Double tight, and Smith on a roll to throw out of it, and it is incomplete. Intended for the tight end cross, and Alabama forced the punt.
That was a ball I think Howard Cross probably should have had the tight end, but it was a big pop by the free safety again, Eddie Johnson, that knocked the ball loose.
Now Eddie Johnson, who's played a whale of a game, goes back deep to see if he can get something going. But Alabama's had very good punt coverage here, and Moore puts them real high against a rush. He drives Johnson to the 13-yard line for a fair catch. Again, poor field position for Saka and the Nittany Lions. A 38-yard punt. 11:09 to go. We'll be right back. Penn State pays a visit. Here, Penn State losing to Alabama 6-3. 11:09 to go. 1st and 10, and the crowd alive at Legion Field. Saka has Brown and Green in the backfield. Timpson out to the left. Odell Wilson there. Saka on 1st down with time. Fires complete to Brown at the 15-yard line. A penalty flag has been thrown on the far side.
It's a dead ball foul. It's a false start on the offense.
12 penalties a week ago for Joe Paterno's team, and today 4.
When he walks off after this, he will no longer be a freshman. He has tasted the fire. Legion Field. Now he's backed up. 1st and 15. In the end zone, safety. Coming through is the big fella, number 55, Derek Thomas.
Some guys can dominate the game from the defensive line of the scrimmage, and Derek Thomas has done that all day long. He's played the run tough. He's played well on special teams, and here on the pass rush, backed up in the end zone. He's like a back with a nose for the end zone. He feels there could be a big play here, a safety, and again the first off the corner of the defense, and that's a safety on Saka. Man, he played well.
One of the most dominating performances we have ever seen in college football by a defensive player. Now the free kick. Penn State with the free kick. That means that they cannot use a tee in this situation. I know a lot of you are wondering, why do they punt the ball so often? Well, it's because they cannot use the tee, and if they had somebody kick it off, that means that someone would have to hold the ball, and they would not have that many men going downfield for coverage. So they will wind up punting it here with Helkowski.
Still only a 5-point game, though.
Penn State's still in it. It's 8-3. 10:43 to go. There it is to Murray Hill at the 31. And Hill is down at the 45-yard line. A young man whose father died tragically in the Vietnamese conflict. Senior at Alabama, certain to be a #1 draft choice by the NFL. Wants people to remember him the same way they do Cornelius Bennett. You can't overlook the job he's done here today. Now 10:38. Here's the toss to Hill. Behind Stewart. Across midfield. Chismar over there on the tackle, along with Collins. So with 10:20 to go, Alabama leads Penn State 8-3. 2 field goals and a safety at Legion Field here in Birmingham. 2nd down and 5. Here's Hill coming the other way behind Turner. Chismar off a block. In on the stop again.
And Murray Hill, the man who replaced Bobby Humphrey this year, 21 carries for 107 yards. They have been tough yards. They've been yards mostly between the tackles, but he has done it. And give the offensive line some credit from Alabama right here in the fourth quarter. They did a very nice job of creating a few creases for Hill.
Now all they need is 1 yard to keep the clock moving and control it. Turner is in front of Hill. Turner turns around. Straight ahead and stuffed. Did not get it. Schoenwolf leading the defensive charge, and he has played a whale of a game here for Penn State.
On short yardage defense, what you need to do is stay low. Right here, watch these guys, how they stay low and get your pads underneath the offensive lineman. And that's just what happened. Shot Schoenwolf, and the other guy's Gobb, number 63, goes in backwards to stop him.
The 17th punt of this game. 10 men up. Moore hangs another one high. He has kept Penn State pinned up, and he gets a bounce, and it'll be down inside the 5. What a fabulous punting job by Moore here this afternoon. Bobby Humphrey, the injured star, cheering from the sideline. A 5-point lead. Tony Sackler will try it again. He's a 6'4" senior from Thompson, Georgia. He has done a phenomenal job of punting for Alabama here this afternoon. No touchbacks. He just hangs the ball high up inside that 20. Russell, the tight end, number 81, getting down on it, and the ball is down at the 5-yard line. And look at how they've had to start from their own 17-yard line, Pat.
And you know, Bill Curry told us yesterday that no game this year we had all three teams, offense, defense, and special teams, play together. Well, they've done that today.
Derek Thomas goes down in a 3-point stance at the right side. 1st and 10. This time they will run Brown. He gets through a hole for about 3 yards. That will leave Penn State 2nd and 7.
Again, they still didn't get those 4 yards on 1st down running.
Now it's going to be up to the Penn State offensive line to see if they can dig in. They trail it by 5 points. 8-3. Plenty of time. Here comes Brown again. He gets around Thomas this time. And he is out to near the 20, and Thomas comes from behind to help bring him down. What a great hustler number 55 is.
It was only a 9-yard run or so, but a very important run, and he went around Derek Thomas that time. He went inside. Gary Brown put a little move and then went outside, but Thomas has the speed to still run him down. That's a big 1st down for Penn State.
Penn State wants to play some smash ball. 1st and 10 at the 19. Green and Brown, the setback. Saka to throw, and it's deflected by you-know-who. Number 55 moved to the left side and knocked that pass down. Have you ever seen a defensive player take charge like this?
The man is an athlete. He is 6'4", 230 pounds, and can run like a deer, a 4.5 40. And again, he's got a real feel, a sense for the game, like the great ones have.
And when he gets down in that 3-point stance, a quarterback can't see where he is. If he stands him up, then you know where he is. They continue to move him. Here's Green, and he's hit almost immediately as he takes the handoff.
This time, Derek Thomas lined up as a middle linebacker and puts the stop. So we've seen him on both sides, outsides. We've seen him down as a tackle and here as a middle linebacker. Get some help from Webb, but again, it's Derek Thomas inside.
Now it is 3rd down and 12. They have attacked with Thomas from almost everyone with the various positions in the front 7. They're going to stand him up on the left side. He's picked up by Brown, comes free, chasing Saka. Incomplete.
Saka is 0 for 8.5, and it's been very good coverage and a great rush. That time the hit, and that looked like a late hit to me by McCants. It was not called.
The education of Tony Sacca continues in Birmingham. Elkowski from the 7. Murray Hill lets it go out of bounds, and it'll be spotted at the Penn State 45-yard line. Good field position for Bama. Let's check in with Jim Nance. Jim, 1st and 10 for Alabama. Ball at the Penn State 45-yard line. 8-3. Toss now to Hill. He's behind Turner. They stretch him out. Chismar making the first hit on him at the 45-yard line. 2nd and 10.
With 6:23 left in the game, it is now up to the Penn State defense, who really have played.
Making the toss, Smith pulls out and throws complete to Russell. Short of a first down. It will leave them about 3 yards shy of a first down.
That's a nice throw by David Smith, because Russell was not wide open, and what Smith did was throw the ball low so that if his guy can't get it, the ball's not going to get tipped and picked off.
Five and a half minutes left. They must get to the 35 for a first down. Turner, the fullback, in front of Kent. This is Kent behind him. First down, Alabama.
Sign of a good offensive football team is to be able to run for a first down, get those 2 yards when you need it. William Kent follows some good blocks on the right-hand side. Chapman, number 70 on the right side, makes a nice block. Turner, the fullback. Robinette. And William Kent has that nose for the first down. But that's a sign of a good team.
Schultz, Rose, and Robinette in the middle of that offensive line. Now on first down, Kent the lone setback. And they'll run him behind the left side. Robinette pulling. And he is hammered out of bounds on the far side. Cleaning up was Andre Collins.
Offensive distribution, Homer Smith, the offensive coordinator, has to be happy with that. The tight ends getting worked in, the running backs, the wide receivers. Again, very difficult to defend a team that uses that many different weapons.
Fresh running backs. Stewart in at fullback. Hill returns as tailback. 2nd and 9. Toss to Hill behind Stewart, and he gets across the 30, and there is a penalty marker thrown down. The tight end appeared to have wrapped up Quintus McDonald that time, and that's the holding call against Cross.
Injured Crimson Tide player down.
Chatham, the right tackle, 6'4" junior.
Brent, Alabama has to be thinking touchdown. They still have to, because a field goal, even if they get a field goal, would only make it an 8-point game. So they're conceivably a touchdown or 2-point conversion, although the Penn State offense has not really done much today.
While we've got an injury timeout, let me remind you that next week we'll be in Morgantown, West Virginia. West Virginia and Penn State. Now let's go to New York and Jim Nance. Jim, thank you. We've got 4.5 minutes left here. It is 8-3, Alabama over Penn State. It'll be 2nd and 19. The ball is at the Penn State 42. They must get to the 23-yard line for a first down. Richardson, wide to the right. Pierre Gould off to the left. And they run the draw with Hill. He found an opening. Inside the 30 and short of a first down. But now they're in position to pick it up on third down with a fine run.
And a nice call against a blitzing defense. They caught the Penn State defense in a blitz, and once you get through the first wave, you've got a chance of getting a big play. Murray Hill really ran this well. The left tackle makes a real nice play to put a block in here inside. That's number 76, Drew Morgan, all the way down the line of scrimmage to run the inside trap. Good call against the blitz.
Third down and 6. Here comes Hill again. Fumble. Ball is loose. Penn State's got it. Penn State at the 12-yard line comes up with a fumble at the 3:30 mark.
And that's just what we say. The Penn State defense had to come up with some sort of play. And they did it. They forced the fumble, and shot number 79 and number 9, Darren Perry, was there to make the recovery.
He intercepted a pass in the first half. Now he recovers a fumble. 2 turnovers for number 9. As he was battling his way toward the first down, the ball came free and rolled all the way to the 12-yard line before Perry crawled and then clutched the ball and brought it in.
This Penn State defense has played well this game. They have not given up a touchdown, only 2 field goals.
But their offense has not gotten the ball past their own 27-yard line. Now 1st and 10, and time beginning to run down on them. Saka back. Saka hit. Ball is free, and Alabama jumps on it. And you know who was right there.
They said it was an incomplete pass. We said at the top of the show, a quarterback always has to know where Derek Thomas is. They've lined him up at 4 different positions, this time from the backside. Gets on, and again, Saka's hand was going forward, and that's why they called it an incomplete pass.
Good call. Green checks in, and an extra tight end. Well, when they switched Green back to fullback, you wondered if Penn State had enough blocking ability at that position. Now let's see if they can hold off the rush. Saka rolls the pocket. Here comes Thomas. Thomas has got him at the 2-yard line. It's an incredible afternoon for number 55.
I have seen a lot of guys play good defensive football, but I've never seen a guy dominate a game as Derek Thomas has here today. He has done virtually everything, including playing very well on special teams. That time, lined up as a middle linebacker.
Coach Don Lindsay turning him loose here this afternoon. Now a 3rd and 19. They send in Terry Smith. Extra speed on the outside. But in 3rd downs in this game, Penn State is 0 of 12. Thomas stands up. Sneaks in. Pass is thrown incomplete.
The penalty flag down.
The 25-second clock may have expired. Let's see.
Delay a game.
That's what it is. So that would be half the way. We'll be back to the 2.
And you don't know where he is going to line up this time. He lines up as the middle linebacker. You have to get a big man on Derek Thomas if you have any chance. A back cannot handle him.
You'd almost be tempted to take a tight end and put him in the backfield. You'd be very tempted to do what the pros do. Send a tight end in motion, make him move to his spot, and just do a little stutter step and wait for him. Now you've got a 3rd down. 2:14 to go. Saka hands it off. They cannot risk another safety. And Brown battles his way out to the 11-yard line. Far short of the first down. They just did not want to risk another safety in that situation.
Been sensational defense by the Crimson Tide. Don Lindsay has come up with a very nice game plan, moving Derek Thomas around to make the plays.
Now Helkowski standing in his own end zone. Murray Hill for Alabama. Back to the 41-yard line, coming up the middle, crosses midfield. The penalty marker down as Hill breaks free. Hill on his feet, cuts back at the 30. He's down at the 23, but there is a penalty flag down back at the other side of midfield. It could be a clipping call against Alabama.
We have clipping on Alabama on the run back.
Number 9, I think, Mike Smith, who made the clip right in front of Hill. Here comes number 9, right in the back, and the official's right there. It's a good call. It's also a good punt return by Hill, his second of the day.
Pat, I got a moment, and you and I both want to thank Wayne Atchison, who took us through the Bear Bryant Museum down there and helped us out yesterday when we were in Tuscaloosa. Always great to taste some of his southern hospitality when we come down this way. Coach Bill Curry and his staff, and of course Joe Paterno and theirs. We'll see them next week again in Morgantown. We've got 1:24 to go. It's a 5-point Alabama lead. 8-3 now. Ball is back on the 30-yard line. Penn State looking for a turnover in this situation. They toss it to Kent. Kent on the cutback.
Brent, some people probably wondering about Penn State's decision to punt there. In that area of the field, they felt they had to because they had 3 timeouts. They've just used one of them. They had the punt, play good defense, and force a punt, give their offense one more chance.
Well, it'll be 2nd and 9. So far, so good. We'll be right back.
You sure you want to vote for him, huh?
2nd down and 9 for Alabama. Now 1:17 to go. 2 timeouts remaining for Penn State. Kent is set behind Stewart. This is Stewart, the fullback. And the number 85, Giannetti, holding on. He is short of that first down.
Alabama here now on facing a 3rd and 4. You know, I think this is the time where you don't get too conservative. They've had some success throwing the football, and this is not still a bad time to do it. It's 3rd and 4. They've had some guys wide open. They've also run the pitch play pretty well to Hill.
1:10 to go, and Bill Curry pondering that move. And while we've got a timeout, let's get some more scores from Jim. All right, 3rd and 4 now for Alabama. They're all set. They toss to Kent, and they have forced a punt. They've got him out of bounds and forced a punt. And I want to remind everybody of the Penn State-Boston College game. Penn State blocked a punt in the last minute to set up a victory. So we will be watching Eddie Johnson in this situation as they send Timpson back to return. They'll put the speed burner in with 1:05 to go and 1 timeout remaining.
But I think they have to go for a punt block because their offense has just not been good. They've got to try to block the punt.
Here come 10 men on the rush, and he does just get it off. Moore. And Timpson's got it at the 22. Coming to the left. Cuts up. He is down at the 32. Inside of a minute to go. That's probably their best field position of the second half. 10-yard return. They'll start at the 32-yard line.
5-point ball game, though. It just takes one big play or a defensive back falling down. You've got the strong arm of the freshman quarterback, Saka, and 1 timeout remaining.
Pat, I'm really serious about it. I think Penn State should put an offensive lineman or somebody in that backfield to pick up Thomas when he comes through and send everybody else out. You cannot blame Saka. He has absolutely no time to get the ball off.
Or take the fullback out, John Green, and maybe put a backup tight end just in the backfield. Right now, they're going to have to throw the football. You know Derek Thomas is going to come. Give your quarterback at least a chance to get rid of the ball.
Richardson, he was injured coming downfield, and the big man on campus, Derek Thomas, checks in with that defense. 54 seconds remain for Penn State and 1 timeout. Redmond now replaces Green. He's in that backfield. He's 5'9", 193. He's not going to stop Derek Thomas. Now they send Timpson out to the right. Saka is 0 for 9 this half. Short drop Throws to Timpson complete near midfield. That'll stop the clock as they move the chains. At the 48-second mark, his first completion for 17 yards. A short drop and a quick pop.
Needs to get the ball to the outside, to the sidelines, and work the sidelines. Don't start the clock till the chains are set.
Daniels and Timpson on that right side. Thomas off the block. Now Saka has to run, and he's down near midfield.
And Joe's asking him to use his last timeout. You got to get rid of the ball there. You have to throw the ball away in that circumstance.
Man, I don't want to be broken record, but those size backs are not going to stop number 55. It is second down. They flushed Saka right out of the pocket that time with Thomas coming in on him. Take a look at this right here.
Here again, 55. This time he is standing up, and it's a mismatch. Redmond is only 193 pounds. They have to swing out a guard or a tackle or maybe move a tight end in the backfield, but he's just overpowering blockers.
35 seconds to go.
Now they have no timeouts remaining, so they have to not only get the ball down and into the end zone, but they also have to throw the ball outside. And if you're a defensive coordinator like Don Lindsay is, you know that you're going to protect the boundary.
Well, tonight on CBS, you've got this schedule coming your way. We look forward to. All right, we know the young man has the arm, but will he have the time? Thomas from the middle is bunched up. Saka throws down to the 20. Caught out of bounds, no catch. Daniels was the receiver, number 26.
There is a penalty flag here near the line of scrimmage. It's a remarkable catch by David Daniels, but he was out of bounds. And Saka had somebody draped on his ankle and still drilled the ball downfield about 50 yards. Again, David Daniels has a reputation of being a very acrobatic receiver, but that's a good shot. He came down outside the field to play.
.27 seconds left. The offense, and the penalty was declined.
Brent, here is a situation where you like to get Michael Timpson, the man with all the speed, down the center of the defense for a big play. Catch it while he's on the move.
Now 2 downs to get it in. Keeps his backs in, and Thomas got through him that time, and it's intercepted by Osment. That will do it. And it was Derek Thomas again, stepping inside the block of Gary Brown and applying the pressure to force the interception.
We've seen Derek Thomas overpower blockers. We've seen him run around blockers. That time he just juked Gary Brown, who was the tailback trying to block him. He looked like in the broken field. He faked one way, came inside on Gary Brown. Watch the tailback trying to block him. Fake out, come right back inside, a little swim technique to make Saka hurry up. Remarkable performance by Derek Thomas. Lee Osment's the beneficiary of it right there.
Young Saka will wake up in the middle of the night and say, where is number 55? First and 10, and Alabama will beat Penn State here this afternoon. And so Bill Curry, who yesterday celebrated his 46th birthday, gets what he needs most down here in Birmingham. A huge win over Joe Paterno and Penn State. Bill Jr. there right alongside Coach Curry, and Paterno quickly out to congratulate him. And downstairs to John Dockery. Dockery.
Bill, what does a win like this at this time mean to you in the program?
I'll tell you what, one thing, this is the greatest football player in America. The greatest. Well, it means a great deal to our program. And I'm just so proud of the leadership that Derek's given us and others. And the team has had to deal with a lot of things. We hurt ourselves a lot today, but it was a great, great defensive football game by 2 great defensive units.
And an emotional performance by this man. Derek, you told us you wanted to make people forget Cornelius Bennett and leave a mark at Alabama that people wouldn't forget. You've done it.
Well, I hope to. I just went out and played to the best of my ability, and my teammates did a great deal to compensate for this win. When I wasn't making plays in the first half, they made the plays, and then I got open to make plays in the second half, so I made them.
He seemed to be everywhere, Coach. Was that the plan?
That was the plan. People have been able to gang up on Derek when they knew where we were going to line him up. And Don Lindsay, our defensive coordinator, is a master of moving great football players around. And so we didn't want them to ever know where he was coming from. And, of course, it was very effective.
Did you surprise yourself today?
Yeah, I surprised myself. When I got a safety, I didn't know it was in the end zone. And after I found out it was in the end zone, I just got excited.
Congratulations to both of you. Now back to you, Brent.
All right, John, thank you very much. Superman does it. Derek Thomas leads Alabama to an 8-3 victory. We'll come right back to Legion Field. This was a non-conference win for Alabama, but with Georgia losing at Kentucky, look how that race tightens up. 5 good football teams in the Southeastern Conference, probably the best from the top to the bottom, and they'll be in a dogfight the rest of the way. We'll be bringing you the key games. And from this, our Chevrolet most valuable players of this contest, Eddie Johnson for Penn State. He did a superb job out of that secondary. No question about Alabama, Derek Thomas. And a check in the amount of $1,000 will be donated by Chevrolet to each school's General Scholarship Fund to further assist qualified students in all chosen academic fields. We'll come back for a final word in just a moment. Alabama restores a little pride to its football program today with a big win over Penn State, 8-3. Philadelphia. Check the local listings for the game in your area. For Pat Hayden and John Dockery, I'm Brent Musburger. We hope you enjoyed Coach Bill Curry.